Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry about my scruffy. I just let myself go this last week. You can see behind me a little bit of progress in getting some of the helmets arranged in the glass cases, and the lightsabers have been arranged for now in the way I want them. Eventually, when the stuff behind me gets out of here, the bookshelf over on this side will go either back there or I'll find another room for it. And then these cases will all move over to the side wall. So I've got two other cases over there, which maybe I'll show you here. A quick little thing that you can see. You can't see from here, but at the bottom case is the Black Series Rogue One Stormtrooper that we did a video for last time. And up there is the RS Propmaster's Empire Strikes Back stun helmet. I don't know if we've shown that, but I do have a video with discussing the differences between that and the EFX Stormtrooper, which I have since sold, but hey, I've got the history of it in my video section. And on that other shelf is my EFX or RS Propmaster's Sandtrooper helmet, which I also did showed in the video from last time. So maybe I'll breeze over that real quick. And kind of show a little bit of what's going on there. But eventually that's going to be the thing. The cases are all going to go against the long wall, and they'll be ominous at that point with nothing but awesome helmets and sabers and so forth. And to finish off what we're looking at, and then we'll discuss closer in detail at another video. Down here is the Black Series Luke Skywalker helmet that I repainted. Did more of an extensive upgrade rather than a complete repaint, but almost a whole repaint. We'll talk about what I did. Next one up is my EFX Boba Fett helmet, which I did an extensive paint upgrade to as well, to add the items on the helmet back onto it to make it complete, now screen accurate to Empire. What was on it before from EFX was good. It was done by a known member on the Dented Helmet Forum who did an exact perfect paint job, but EFX omitted a lot of those, a lot of the details and minute details that should have stayed on there. There's no excuse to me why they couldn't have left some of the things on that they did. Then up at the top is my EFX A New Hope Vader, which I did a complete repaint job for A New Hope, because that was the PCR version and they molded it physically from the New Hope one that they had, but all they did was just a very basic two-tone spray paint job. No damage, no dents, no scrapes, no sea scar, none of that stuff. So I went over that with fine-tooth comb and my discerning eyeballs and brought it up to that. And again, we'll get closer detail on that in a future video. And all of my archaic CDs, which, you know, I like having them. I'm not getting rid of them. I'm just putting them away so I have them to make room. One last thing while we're looking behind, this case here will be housing something, how do I want to put it? Something Sumerian, if you will. I just have to find something to hang that. It's a custom case. It's a sword hanging case that I had put together, fabricated completely from the ground up, out of heavy wood and leather and things like that. And it weighs about 10 pounds. So I need to find a way to really get it, you know, up on the wall and mounted on the sled. And I've got some things where it's just going to be one of those things where you make a mess putting it up because you're going to have to drill and do a lot of things with that. Okay, so why I'm really here is to talk about what I was mentioning in one of my earlier videos about what I also do along with collecting helmets and collecting the things that I do, and the repaints, and if I need to do them, which by the way, for the record, I am not ever going to touch the RS pieces. They are perfect as is. When something comes in, if it's something I just can't say no to, if physically it's perfect but it just needs a better paint job, I'll totally do that. But if it's something that comes in perfect, even if it's not exactly, for whatever reason, not the way I want, no reason to touch it. So RSs are not getting touched, ever. Anyway, that being said, my latest thing that I did was upgrading the Black Series Snowspeeder, Luke Skywalker Snowspeeder. And I have that done and ready to show you today. And we'll talk about a little bit about what I did to it and how it looks, and some of the things that, again, Hasbro could have put on, but your price point would reflect that. And that's what they're looking to do, is keep these things saleable, right? So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this off so I can get in position to show you the piece, and we'll go from there. Bye. Okay, and here we are. Here is the Black Series completed Snowspeeder, with Luke and Dak having a chat before they go out, inspecting the vehicle. And we'll get a little bit closer look at them because I did some weathering to them as well. But here it is. This is the cover plate for the exposed engine detail, and I'll just get to him first, but well, I'll get to him in a minute, but let's just take a little look at it. It is a busy paint job, as it turned out. Very, very busy looking weathering that I didn't really anticipate having turn out like that. But it turned out amazing. I think that it looks like it's been through hell, and just the overall look of everything, I think really works with the existing paint job that was done to it, that was given to it by Hasbro. They did a good paint job on it for what it was, but it was very bright color, very light, very gray and lighter colors like that. Not very bleak, not much to it. So darkening it up a bit, giving it some colors, really helped. And so, yeah, if we go in here into the engine detail, just knowing what they were going for with what they designed into it, helps to paint it out. Let's see if we can get here. The subframe of the ship. I would just want to make sure that would be obvious, that it would be a frame color. So I'm using an aircraft aluminum color to do that, something familiar looking. Heat dispersal units down here, it looks like they have, seem to me to be better to make them copper, because a lot of the times copper is used in situations, with that. It just looks good. And just varying gunmetals and flat black, and I never used silver for anything. I used just all aircraft aluminum for this. Going in and painting it and bumping into stuff and having to repaint the messes, and just over and over and over again, and then a good black wash, and then it really seals it in. Now this engine piece here pops out to reveal the whole thing. I'm not going to do that at the moment because I've got my little setup and they'll fall over, but you get the picture. So that brings me over to the cover plate that they gave us. It will set in
if I were to put it in under the engine compartment, it'll set in like that. So, a little weathering on the outside, and then trying to match a little bit of what they were shooting for in here. Again, the copper plating doesn't match as far as positioning, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. And just, little things to kind of make it look like it makes sense. Again, aircraft aluminum, gunmetals, and what have you, and just detailing the rims, not letting any of the original plastic showing. So I just keep it around in view, just so it's obvious if they took that off. So, but here is some details. Like up, they already had some of the physical notches and damages in here. Excuse me. And they painted them silver, but they didn't do anything else to them. They had a little. You can see this brownish color that's in various places around the ship that was supposed to be the carbon scoring, but it just looked like brown hazy airbrush. So, but I like the shape of it. They did a okay job. So I enhanced that by adding actual carbon scoring to it, and then adding flat black detailing around the outside of the damage areas that they had, and then using actual carbon. Oh God, it's slipping my head right now. The charcoal bricks you would get in a pastel art set. Just rub a Q-tip on the end of it, and then just tap it down to kind of bluster it out, and then just fan it back to show direction of that, and then a little bit of a matte spray paint coat to seal it in, and then you're done. And that was kind of anywhere I needed that done is what I did with that. And it's a wonderful way to do carbon scoring and really make it look realistic. Going around places where you would see rust, you would think that moisture and so forth would set in and drip down. So a little bit of actual rust paint. That general idea. These panels do pop up, and it does reveal engine parts there, which I did the same basic idea that I did with this. Again, I'm not going to pop that open at the moment, but yes, we'll get to the cockpit in a minute. So if I come around back here, if I can get a good view of it, the back really stood to be weathered. It was very light gray plastic in there, so getting a lot of darkness in there and some black washing and painting the braces gunmetal and flat black, and the hydraulics, getting scraped paint or scraped aluminum damaging around and just wear around the grill, and again the rust areas being outside and used. The harpoon gun, the mold of it's very nice, but the problem that they had, I don't know if you can see it from here when I get in, the top barrel and the bottom barrel are separated, but they were molded together, so I actually had to go in there with a knife and kind of cut them to separate them and smooth it out. And then, of course, flat blacking it and gunmetaling and a little bit of aluminum damage streaks, and we have weathering. So, those are the general ideas around it. Let's see if I can get up over here to see this side of it. And again, the same process, just enhancing and adding to what was there and adding more things that weren't there. A lot of weathering under this particular cannon that wasn't there before, just to kind of give it a little bit of an, one side is different than the other look. So also what I had to do, the way they had this set up, they had two support posts underneath the cannons that you popped into the plastic, and it just didn't hold them, and it looked, they set way too high, and it looked awful. So pop the cannons off, cut off the one post in the back, shorten the other one, and you can see a little bit in there. And then filled it in with some putty and filled the underside of the cannons. For some reason, the underside of the cannons were hollowed out, I guess, to save on weight. But I filled those with styrene and putty and glued them back down on, and of course, the paint of the panel underneath there to kind of mask that, and then adding some damage and some rusting where that post would be. Coming over here and actually putting, I don't know if you can see it in here, but the tips of the cannons are actually dremeled out. Little hole in there, I guess, to show some actual. Let's see if I can get something that I can poke in there to show that. Yeah. Well, some of the stuff in here, I don't have something I can. Interesting. Oh wait, there isn't. Okay. So yeah, you can see if I take a little pencil and just kind of beep 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 goes in. So they had it just molded flat. Of course, they're not flat. They are an open cannon. Again, it's hard for me to handle all this and do all of it at the same time. The underside of the ship, not much to it. Same concept. I just some of the weathering around the underside, the same way I did the top, blackwashing it, filling in the details of the landing gear. But I like the top display. So here's where we're really getting into this thing: the canopy, the cockpit. This is where it really became intensive, because the cockpit that they have in here was just all standard, just light gray plastic, and it looked hideous. But the detail is there. Again, this is the Hasbro thing. It's the molding and the detail. It's like a kit, like you get a resin kit and they expect you to paint it, which I'm fine doing. But it just, it was kind of one of those things. And just using, observations from the film and how things were set up and in there, and colors and what have you, was all I really had. There wasn't a lot of good in the cockpit references that I could find anyway, other than that. And the thing is, I tried taking this whole thing apart to get the cockpit out so I could do it by hand, but I just could not get this thing apart internally far enough without actually feeling like it was going to break. So I just put it all back and just went into it by hand. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, that might work. Yeah. So you can see a little more if I had my light up this way. The seatbelt buckles, all the little buttons and the lights and so forth on the cockpit or on the console. The front detail, the emergency push pads, and all kinds of stuff in there was really, really good that they put in. They even included Luke's little harpoon thing, which I left in there. And the underside of the cockpit, too, of the canopy, was really hard to get to, but the canopy did pop off. So I was able to actually paint in the gunmetal frame on the inside and the weathered cargo padding with the tubing that was on there, and it all turned out, satisfactory. I would say for me, much more interesting than the standard version that they had. So that's the overview of the ship itself. One of the things that I did do that I kind of regret, but hey, it's all right. I originally did want to display this with the canopy open because I wanted to see all the cockpit detail. But there, you can see it up in here. There was two tabs at the very end where I clipped them off and sanded them down, and I should have filled these in, but I didn't, where they snap into here to keep the cockpit down, because the way it's designed is that when you push it down back here, the material touches and prevents the cockpit from going all the way down. I mean, I push it down, it goes down, but then it pops up a little bit. You know, little concessions to make. So, you know, doing the top, and well, that should give me a reason to look at the top of the canopy to detail it as well. Again, you know, just finding out where you think scoring and rusting and damage would occur if this thing was flying around in real space. So yeah, and there was the little thumb hole there at the above this vent. When this was down, it allows you to get your thumbnail under there to pop it back up. So I filled that in and sanded it over and weathered it, because that's the way it is. They don't actually have that colored in. They have the color here, and then it's blank, or you can barely see it, and then the color under this vent. So it worked out. But where they also really came through was the figures. They got Dak over here and Luke. They look really, really good. The facial sculptures are really, really nice. I got Luke's helmet on. It's a real pain to take it off, but that's the normal Black Series 6-inch Luke. So, but his face looks great. But Dak comes with the Snowspeeder, and I don't really remember the actor's face the way he looks, but it's a good human-looking representation of the face. You know, did some weathering to their suits, a little brown wash to get dirty on them, the black washing for the helmet, like Luke's helmet, like I had over here on the Black Series helmet that I did there. And Luke's holding his saber as usual. So they turned out pretty cool, but again, it helps that they had good structure to begin with. So yeah, there is, I don't know what else I have to talk about. If you've got any other questions or anything, you know, let me know. I've got pictures I can post up if you want to see them about the, you know, just a 360 around the ship pictures that I can show you. Just getting up over top to give you a good top view. Kind of gives you a little bit overall idea too of what the weathering looks like. I don't have another one of these to kind of put them side by side, although my brother does, and we did bring it over at one point and put them side by side, and it's a stark difference between them. So yeah, if you ever get a chance to go look at one of these and then look at the weathering that they do, and then look at something like this, you can take a shot at it yourself and try and do a weathering job on it. It's really fun to do. It's painstaking, but it's worth it when you get it done, and it makes you feel good when you do it. That's what it's all about. So, okay, until next time, I'll start breaking out the helmets, probably after I get the cases arranged in here and the room arranged the way I want it. That way I can just look at it and pull from there. But pretty soon we'll start kind of focusing on some of these helmets, because I got another 2 helmets on the way coming in that we'll be talking about for sure. All right, well, that's about it. See you guys later. Have a good one.